Trekcast.
The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
There he is.
Whoa! That was a quick cut.
Dan, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Okay,
So,
great.
This is Trekcast.
I think, yeah.
You are listening to Trekcast, the galaxy's most
It's going to be one of those
unpredictable
shows.
Star Trek podcast. I'm Dan. I'm one of the hosts sometimes. There's another guy here. His name's Daniel. If the show is on, he's here.
That's me.
Always here. There's a third guy.
That's right.
Sometimes he's here. Sometimes
Yeah.
he's not. His name's Scott. He might be here.
Yeah,
He was here
he's struggling
minutes
right
ago.
now.
He was
Yeah.
here a few minutes ago. He might be here again.
That's right.
I'm
might be here
in
later.
Trekcast Mobile 1 today. I have an event.
That's right.
to-
That's right.
So I'm going mobile. I didn't have breakfast yet, so I mean you may or may not see me eat this banana live on Trekcast today, and wash
I
it
thought you
down.
would save that for the OnlyFans. Nice.
Only Dan. It's called Only Dance. It's me and you.
That's right. Only Dance. That's right. That's right. Don't forget
so
that
what's up,
D.
man?
Only Dance.
Yeah. Oh, I
Not
love
too
it.
much, man. They love the D. Yes. We get straight to the D on their show every time.
The D. We don't mess around.
All the time. Yes. It's been a weird week, but good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so far so good. We'll see what next week brings. I've got some stuff brewing, so I'm kind of
Okay.
excited about it. I'll tell you about it later, but
Okay.
yeah, and then
Secrets.
that's right. Yeah, well, we're trying. But yeah, man, how you been? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Things are good.
Yeah,
Things are good. It's just, podcast is on the weekend, and sometimes it just there's other stuff that comes up.
absolutely.
Uh,
Oh, look who's up!
Hey.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, apparently he got the dress code memo.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And he'll
Yeah.
no.
I did not. Well,
Oh, my
yellow
God.
and blue. That's Michigan colors, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Go blue.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
I had to tap dance around that. Sure, why not?
Okay, are we all here?
Allegedly, yes.
I don't know.
Okay,
Raise,
can you-
raise your hand if you're not here.
Okay.
Well, I'm not here. No, I'm not.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Dan's
do it
eating his
then.
banana. We're allegedly doing a show. It's great.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you already did the intro then.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome
No,
to
we're
the
just
show.
sitting here eating bananas, waiting for you.
That's
Man,
right.
I had one all planned out too. Oh well.
Oh no. Go for it. Why not? Let's
Ours
do two
sucks.
intros.
Do it. Ours sucks.
Okay, all right. Live from studios in Idaho, Michigan, and New York, this is Trekcast, the galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast. Today on the show, we are going to review the final installment of the Kelvin universe, Star Trek Beyond. Plus, we've got Star Trek news and your listener feedback. I'm Scott Bouters with Daniel Reyes, and now, just back from Ryza, is that a Orgon in your pocket, or are you just happy to see us? Dan Lombardo.
Nice. I
Okay.
like it. I like that
We
intro.
need a curtain. We need a curtain for me to come out from behind.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I don't know if you
So-
should be driving with a curtain.
I shouldn't be driving doing a podcast either,
That's
but
true too. Yeah.
this is where we are.
This is where we are. That's
Yes.
fine. That's fine. I think it's a good thing you're on the show, Dan, because people are going to start thinking that you joined Chad
In the basement.
down in my basement. So
I have to admit, I did get a couple messages.
Oh.
I did get a couple of, hey, we're just looking for proof of life
Right.
messages from listeners. So
oh no, that's great.
probably good that I'm back.
that Scott hasn't taken you.
Yep.
Yeah. Fair enough. All
I
right.
don't know. I mean, to be honest, I think I'd put up a pretty good fight if you tried to take me.
Yeah, I think you would too. I
think so.
think you would too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to mess with Dan.
Fair enough.
He does Klingon martial arts, so
That's true. That is true.
And all that.
So what are we doing here? What's going on? I
Oh,
said
we got a
so at the end.
show. Like
We got
yeah.
a show? Okay.
Yeah, I guess I should get into the Star Trek news.
Oh, we have that too?
Yeah, we have news. We got a topic. It's crazy. It's like a
Okay,
real
let's
show.
do it. Let's
Yeah,
do it.
Star Trek news.
All right. Movie.com. And I don't know if you guys saw the big announcement earlier this week when Marvel had the whole internet watching chairs for several hours. But it was announced a lot of the cast for Avengers Doomsday, and apparently allegedly more will be revealed later. This is just what they've done for now. But several Star Trek alums will be in the cast. So it's kind of exciting. We've got Rebecca Romijn will be returning as Mystique. Patrick Stewart will be returning as Professor Xavier. Well, we say that we don't. They're coming back. For sure. We don't know for sure that they're playing those characters, but I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer will be returning as well. Beast, and then Chris Hemsworth as Thor. So that's your 4 Star Trek alums.
And this is all for Doomsday, right?
This is all for Doomsday. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So they had this big announcement where they had chairs in every, I think, half hour or so. They would.
Right.
Oh, we lost Dan. Yeah.
Right.
We would shift to a new chair and a new person. So because of that, though, I think we can now make our special announcement. I think it's time. So we would like to announce also. There we go. Trekcast
Yes.
has been added.
We are going to be there.
We will be returning in Avengers Doomsday. Dan, I'm making the big announcement that we will be in Avengers Doomsday. Trekcast. Yes. So there's our chair. Oh, we lost Dan again.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the mobile one may be oh, there he is. Yes, he's back. Okay.
I'm
So,
sorry.
It's
I
okay.
was making Titan's turn, and that sometimes
That's right.
messes with communications.
He was making Titan's turn.
Yeah.
Better hope
Yeah,
the
people
cops
were
don't
making
see
their
it.
chairs all over the place. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, so Trekcast is going to be in Doomsday.
Sure.
So this just turned from an epic movie to a giant cluster, right?
That's right. That's right.
Which is what I think Doomsday is going to be. It's either going to be like epic or just a giant cluster.
It's going to start like this show. Are we doing a movie now? What's going on?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'll watch it. I will watch it.
So all the X-Men are coming back.
Right.
You think we're gonna get everybody? You think we're gonna get like?
There's been a few that have been suspiciously absent.
Yeah.
Like
we're going to get
Spider-Man was
a
not there
lot of
announced.
them. I think what's going to happen is we're going to get the rest of them too, except for 3. And then the whole movie we're going to be like, hey, where's, Spider-Man, or where's so-and-so?
Where's Don Cheadle?
Yeah, where's Don Cheadle?
Yeah. That maybe.
I want to
Jasmine
see
says over
Nicholas
5
Hammond
hours of
as Spider-Man.
You want to see who?
Nicholas Hammond. You don't know who Nicholas Hammond is?
No.
Oh my God!
Who
You
is
obviously
he?
never watched the live-action 1970s Spider-Man. That was
No, I've seen it. I just didn't know his name.
Okay.
Fair enough. Well,
I was just throwing out a deep cut. Yeah, I know his name.
that was very deep cut. Very
Yeah.
deep.
Yes, you're a nerd. It's okay.
That's right. And then
They
speaking
should
of
do that. They should have like CGI Bill Bixby. They should have the like all those 1970s TV movie Marvel characters.
Oh,
They should have
yeah,
them all
Captain
together.
America.
Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like we're all
the
from,
goofy looking
you know, what
Thor
Earth are you
and
from?
The
I'm from
unreleased
Earth,
Fantastic
Earth
Four.
1975. Yes,
Yes.
all of them. Put them all in there.
do it.
Yeah, just like the Flash did.
I love
Yep.
that right now. All of the the insiders are just making their wild theories. Like there's one that says that they're going to bring in animated characters, so you'll see like the animated X-Men, the animated Spider-Man from the 90s, that he'll pop up in either Secret Wars or Doomsday. Like that's not happening. They're not going to Roger Rabbit it. Yeah. All right. Well, our next news story comes to us from Collider, also kind of sharing along with the whole Marvel thing. And they did an interview recently with Scott's favorite actor, Paul Giamatti.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And they asked him a little bit about Starfleet Academy.
Oh, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Scott doesn't like Paul Giamatti?
Oh, I think he made a great Rhino.
He's the best Rhino.
He is the best live-action
He's the-
Rhino we've ever
Of the
had.
two, there are two. He's the
Yeah.
best one.
Who was the other one?
The other one was in Craven.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah. Well, there's two Rhinos now.
Because I've seen every Marvel property except for Craven.
Same. We could have Rhino No Way Home. They're just the
Yeah.
two Rhinos.
Right.
Just trying to figure out.
I even saw, what was that Spider-Man adjacent female movie that came
Madam
out
Web?
last year? Yeah, I
Yeah.
even saw that. In the
Well,
theater.
yeah, because of the show. We reviewed it.
Yeah, saw it in the theater. Haven't
Yeah,
seen
same.
haven't seen the Craven.
Yeah. I'm not Craven the Craven.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
what's he do? What's he saying? What's he doing? Who cares?
So he's talking about being in Starfleet Academy. He says that he takes great pleasure in playing the villain. He really likes it. And he's just relishing being the bad guy.
What's that
So,
for?
huh? Oh no, are we losing Dan?
What's that, Dan?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
What'd you say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, so Paul Giamatti loves playing the bad guy in Starfleet Academy. They also asked him how this came to be, how he got to be in Star Trek. And he said that, he was asked what kind of things you want to do. And he says, quote, "Gosh, I love Star Trek." And, he just kind of put it out there and eventually got back to the right people and they had talks and now he's going to be in Starfleet Academy. So
That's how it used to be.
That is how it
Paul
used to
Sorvino. Paul
Yeah.
Sorvino was on TNT because he liked Star Trek, and he told his agent, "Call some people and get me on Star Trek. I want to be on that show. I like it."
yeah.
Yeah. All
Hasn't
right.
Tom Hanks wanted to be in Star Trek?
I would imagine
Yeah, I
if Tom
remember-
Hanks wanted to be in Star Trek, Tom Hanks would be in Star Trek.
There's that one character in TNG that was written for Robin Williams, and then they couldn't get him for some reason. Like it was a scheduling conflict thing. Like
Which
Who was
character was that?
I forget the name of the character, but like if you watch the episode, you can totally tell, like, oh yeah, that was supposed to be Robin Williams.
Okay. Sounds like maybe like the Most Toys-ish kind of thing, or
Yeah, maybe the chat will let us know.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking the guy, the time traveler guy who stole the time machine.
Oh,
That says
Rasputin.
Robin Williams to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could be.
Burlingham Rasputin, that guy. think
I just remember him from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh yeah.
He was the neighbor.
He was also he was Mac
Yeah,
Headroom.
yeah. It's that guy, the guy that from Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Yep,
Um,
the neighbor.
Matt
Yeah.
Rupert or
Yeah.
something. What's his name?
I found the picture of the guy. Let's see. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, he
guy.
was doing some heavy flirting with Dr. Crusher.
Yeah, this guy.
Yep.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Robin Williams. So, okay.
Yep.
All right. And then our last news story comes to us from Newsweek. Let me bring that up. So we're learning a little bit more about Starfleet Academy. So maybe that's up next instead of Strange New Worlds. I don't know for sure because they haven't announced it. But in Newsweek, they are saying that Starfleet Academy got a pretty strange comparison. This is coming from an editor who has been working on Starfleet Academy, editing the shows, and he has compared it to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That it's got some of that comedy in it. He says it's actually really, really funny. He says the parts with the kids are pretty funny as well, pretty sarcastic tone, and he compared it a lot to Buffy. This guy also did say in the interview, which I thought was kind of funny, he says the one thing that's missing from Star Trek is the fact that you can't put contemporary music into it because it doesn't fit the show.
Right.
But if you could drop, he says this in the article. Let me find the.
Tell that to Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah. Let me find the quote because it's hilarious. He goes, "My one issue with Star Trek is that it's always takes place so far in the future. You don't have conventional or contemporary music. You can't put a kick-ass hip-hop or K-pop or whatever it is. It just doesn't belong." Yeah, so there's that.
Right. Okay. I've never seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I probably saw the original movie, but I never saw the series.
Yeah.
But the person who created Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the series, also created Firefly.
And the Avengers.
And the Avengers, not Joss Whedon. Now, if it has a Firefly tone in any way, shape, or form, I'm down. If it's got
that's kind of what he does. So
yeah,
it's similar to that.
Okay, so if he does that kind of, the showrunners do that kind of tone, then yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I mean, I'm going to watch it.
Right.
You know, I'm going to, even if it's bad, I'm still going to watch it.
Dan's on the fence about watching it.
I'm going to watch it for this show.
That's right.
For this podcast.
That's right.
I'd imagine people have the same attitude about this podcast. Like, I'm going to watch it. Even if it's bad, I'm still going to listen. And we thank you. Thank you.
That's right. So yeah, so that's there's also another news story going around. It's not really a news story, it's just a rumor. But there are people saying that Paramount is going to shift away from woke in order to get the merger approved with Skydance. So
wait, I thought we were going away from Skydance. I thought somebody else offered them like $4 billion more.
Yeah, somebody else did, and there's a whole lawsuit to prove that they really have the money. That's another thing. It's just people are making up rumors at this point. They're saying that, hey, so they're gonna shift away from these things. That Star Trek, Strange New Worlds is currently being reshot to remove all those elements out of it. So, but they're not. They're shooting season 4 right now. Like it's
right.
And then in the rumor, it's that Alex Kurtzman will be removed by Christmas time in order to align themselves with removing those kinds of ideologies out of it.
You know, when you're announcing that you're going to shit can somebody,
yeah,
you don't announce that you're going to shit can somebody 8 months from now.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, I don't necessarily disagree with getting rid of Alex Kurtzman, but
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
you don't call a guy in, and you don't call a guy in. You say, "Listen, 8 months from now, the third Tuesday in December, you're out of here."
That's right. That's right.
But from now until then, we expect your best work.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Stop.
Yeah.
You're not going to ruin this franchise, are you?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah. So, if you guys see that rumor laying around, massive grain of salt. It's probably not happening. I mean, look at it's ridiculous how it falls apart the minute you play any logic to it. So I just thought I should mention that because people are spreading that. So
Okay.
yeah, but
So who owns Paramount again now? Or who's buying it?
right now?
Skydance?
Paramount owns themselves for now.
Paramount owns themselves. Okay.
For now.
Did we ever put our bid in? Did you check our coffee account? Did we ever put our bid in for Paramount?
I have not yet.
Okay. Can you work on that?
To clear?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just throw it in.
I understand.
Last minute surprise. Yes.
I
We're gonna
understand.
make our strongest bid.
That's right.
You got to pick your time.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
I'm going to mention Skydance again in a few minutes, but I'm going to wait until we start the main topic.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get to the main topic.
Okay.
Fun will now commence.
The final of the Kelvin films, at least the final for now. That's right. Star Trek Beyond.
Star Trek Beyond.
That's right. Whether or not we get a fourth one, who's to say?
So, I have seen this movie. I'll tell you how many times I've seen this movie. I have seen this movie 1.4 times.
Oh, wow.
1.4. So you watched half of it yesterday.
I watched almost half of it.
Almost
Yes,
half
okay.
of it. Okay.
0.4, not 0.5. I watched this movie once when it came out. What was
Yeah.
it, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 years ago.
And I tried to watch it again yesterday,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, guys, I couldn't get through it. It just did not hold my interest, and yeah. So halfway through the review, I might bow out.
Okay.
But
That might be because you're mobile too. So
yeah, that's it. But one of the things that struck me, you watch a movie, right? At the beginning of the movie, the theme starts, and if it's a 20th Century Fox movie, you'll see the 20th Century Fox logo,
Mhm.
and then in association with Lucasfilm, and you see
Right.
the Lucasfilm logo. Okay, so this movie started last night,
Yeah.
and those title cards, there were like 15 of
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
I noticed that too. I noticed that too.
Alibaba films and
I don't
Alibaba,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was the studio.
So there was Paramount, Alibaba, Strange Robot, Sundance, and that's all I can remember.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Skydance. Sorry, Skydance, Sundance,
Yeah.
Skydance,
it
whatever.
might be Strange Dance by the time we're over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's like those things where you see, like, oh, Beyonce had a hit song, and
Yeah.
you look at the producers, and there's like 17 producers on the song.
There's
Yeah.
a common trick in filmmaking where you create a film company specifically for that one movie. And that's why like you'll see like in association with like Paramount and Fox News and Fox Studios and Trevor's Film Studio or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And then the idea is if it's a bomb, then you put all the losses onto that newly made corporation and just write it off there.
Oh, for the tax system. Jeez.
Yeah. That's why they do that. So,
Well, it's dumb. Dan
yes,
and I don't like it.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So this movie came out in 2016, and it was directed by Justin Lin from The Fast and the Furious, which was kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, Justin Lin, he's a big Star Trek fan.
Right. As far as we know.
So yeah, I watched most of the special features. I watched the movie last night, and I watched most of the special features. So, they explained why J.J. Abrams wanted to remove himself as director. They wanted, to get a bit different flavor for this movie. So they brought in Justin Lin, and they brought in Simon Pegg, co-wrote the movie. He
That's
was
right,
involved in
yes.
the storyline. So.
I read some reviews. I read the Roger Ebert review about it, and basically he said that it felt like a giant episode in the best possible way, which kinda, it does feel like a giant episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rotten Tomatoes score about even for critics and regular people. 86% for critics, 80% for fans. So they're in line roughly.
I like the movie. Yeah, I like the movie. I remember watching it in the theaters. I remember, I've seen it not as many times as I've seen the 2009 Star Trek.
Right.
But I definitely enjoyed it more than the 2012 Star Trek to the search for regurgitation of Spock and Kirk and all that. So
Right.
I thought this was a fitting end of a trilogy, and it was really a fitting end for their story.
Yeah.
You know, which is why every time we've always brought up Star Trek 4, I've always been like, no, we don't need it. You know,
Yeah.
we don't need Pulp Fiction to come in and direct Star Trek 4. We don't, Quentin Tarantino. We don't need any of that. I thought that the Kelvin timeline story has been done. I enjoyed it. Let's move on.
Yeah. It does feel like a good ender the way it ends. We should probably get a little bit into the story. So basically, it starts out. They are helping negotiate a peace treaty between two different factions, two different species, and Kirk goes to hand one of the groups like a gift, and it ends up that they don't want it. They are suspicious of it. The faction, I forget their names, and so because they don't want it, it becomes a whole big problem, and so they start attacking Kirk. It ends up the guys are just very tiny, but still there's a lot of them, and Kirk is able to escape.
Yeah, they're adorable.
They're adorable, and they don't wear pants. That's
one of them's a member of Starfleet.
Yes, later.
One of their species is a member of Starfleet.
Yes.
They're about the size of a medium-sized dog.
That's right. And so they take the little device, what was supposed to be a gift, and Kirk tells Spock, "Hey, just catalog this and put it away. We don't need it after all." And it was supposed to be. They say in the beginning.
I think his exact words were, "Catalog this, file it under M for MacGuffin."
That's right. Yes. Yeah, Jasmine even says the MacGuffin device. Yes. They even say in the beginning it's part of an old weapon, and so there you go. And then from there, we go visit the Yorktown station?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, which is described as a snow globe in space or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the crew goes on shore leave. I think Sulu meets up with his brother and his niece, and they go off and have lunch together. And yeah.
And everybody sees their loved ones except for Kirk. and Kirk is basically going there not to quit, but he wants to get a promotion because he's done with traveling in space. He wants a desk job. He's just tired of it.
Right.
So okay. And he applies for it, and it sounds like he might be getting it, but the admiral or whoever it is that he's talking to says, think about this before you do it.
Admiral, I think her name was Admiral Camel Non-Filtered.
Yes. I just remember her from 24. She was in that show 24 as well.
Yeah, and I think she's been in a couple of sci-fi things, but
yeah. And then from there, we also get wind that Spock is looking to get away from Starfleet as well. He gets word that original recipe Spock is dead, and so he wants to go and be with the other Vulcans.
He wants to make Spock.
Yes, he wants to make little Spock babies.
Little Spock babies. He feels like that's the logical thing to do. And so him and Kirk are in the turbo lift together. They're preparing for, now that the shore leave's about wrapping up, they're going to go back out again because they're on the 5-year mission just to explore. And so from there, they both say, "Hey, I need to tell you something, but we'll do it later." And then we get a all-important emergency alert, and somebody is approaching the Yorktown station, and she claims to be in danger, and they help her out, and there's a big fight, and they help this lady, and it ends up it is a trap. They go with this this, I don't know what her name was. I never caught the character's name, but they go with her back to this nebula where she says her crew is stranded. She needs some help. and that's when the Enterprise is attacked.
Yeah, Kalara.
Kalara, okay. So they are attacked. They call them bees, like this swarm of like fighter plane jets. What I don't know, ships.
Yeah, they're old mining ships.
Yeah, okay. They really don't like miners in this series, do they?
No, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're attacked, and it ends up that Idris Elba is very angry with Starfleet.
Yes, very much so.
Very much so. And so it's
I forgot he's in this. I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
I forgot he's in this.
Yeah, he's the main baddie. He's the main
and all
baddie.
the makeup, but that's him. Which
Speaking of makeup, is it me, or did they look just like the Krill from the Orville?
yes.
They look. That was mentioned actually on IMDb, and a few people mentioned that online. Is that they look. That has to be where they got the Krill from.
Yeah. So from there, they're attacked. The Enterprise is basically destroyed. It crash lands on a planet, but in pieces. So the crew is scattered at this point. We have very much in Empire Strikes Back, where we have little groups, and each group has a certain directive that they need to do before they all gather back together for the big fight. We've got Bones and Spock together. We've got Scotty and our new character Jayla are working together. Eventually they meet up with Kirk. Kirk and Chekhov are together, and then the rest of the crew has been kidnapped, imprisoned. So you've got Uhura and Sulu kidnapped. And so they need to save them. From there, we find out that there is an old Federation ship, the Franklin, has crash landed on this planet years earlier. It had been a ship that had been missing for quite some time. And it ends up Jayla is living in the ship. That's how she knows English and is able to communicate with the other Federation officers. And she's using like a network of holograms, or what, I forget what they called it. They didn't say it was holograms, but they had a different name for it.
Yeah, it was. I forgot what it was called too, but it was.
It's like camouflage.
Yeah.
It's holograms though, and so from there, they go fight the new bad guy, Idris Elba, and they're able to take the old ship and go back to the Yorktown because the swarm is going to attack, and they have now the device, the ancient weapon, and it ends up the ancient weapon is like just a really angry cloud.
Yeah, it's the dark thing from Thor: Dark World.
Yeah.
It's the ether.
Yeah, it's just angry nanites.
Yeah, it's angry Infinity Stone.
Yeah, it's angry Infinity Stone, and so the Yorktown is gonna be destroyed by the Infinity Stone.
Okay.
So Kirk's got to stop him, and so he goes and fights Idris Elba in an air duct, which that's what that is. It's a giant
air duct.
Clear air duct.
So they're either going to die by the ether, or they're going to die by the air duct fans.
That's right.
Because that's how space stations work.
That's how it works. Yes. And he wins. Kirk wins. They stop Idris Elba, and there we go. We're all happy.
Yep.
They do this big thing at the end where the crew is kind of like celebrating that they won. They're saying goodbye to those who lost their lives in the battle. So they're saying goodbye to old friends, which is kind of poignant because we have Anton Yelchin there.
Yes.
And so that scene rings a little bit different now in hindsight.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was actually, they did a little bit of an edit on that scene before it was released, where you have a shot of Kirk kind of raising his glass. Yeah. And they kind of redid it so that they panned back over to the group, and center on frame was Chekhov. Was Anton Yelchin.
Okay.
So it was kind
of. Did they mention that in the behind the scenes, or?
Yeah, it's something. I think it's something I read on. Yeah, they did mention it behind the scenes.
Okay.
It's online too. So
Okay.
And then at the end credits, they talk about in memory of Leonard Nimoy, and then for Anton.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because he passed away just before this was released.
yeah,
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy passed away before it was made, and Anton Yelchin passed away just before it was released.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, so that was basically the movie.
Yeah, let's go over a couple things.
Yeah.
Dan mentioned early that Sulu was with his brother and niece.
Yeah.
Which he knows damn well that. See, online they talk about this in the special features. They talk about this, and there's a lot of controversy around this. So let's dive into this subject a little bit. In the film, they decided to make Sulu a gay character.
Yeah.
They talked about it in the special features, and they just wanted to make one of the main characters gay. They didn't want that fact to be part of the storyline. They just wanted it to be there.
Just a thing that happened real quick.
Just a thing that happens, and it has nothing to do with like the character, or the storyline itself.
Well,
and
wasn't it supposed to be a tribute for George Takei?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. So I did a little research. It turns out that George Takei wasn't for this.
He didn't agree with it.
Right.
He didn't agree with it because George Takei is gay. And they thought it would be a cool tribute to him. He wasn't part of it. He didn't like it because he said the character's not gay.
Right.
And they showed in the original series he was very much about the ladies.
Yeah.
And he said he didn't think they should have taken it in this direction for Sulu.
Right.
But we do see that the girl that they have, a lot of people are speculating that's Demora from Star Trek Generations, the helmsman of the Enterprise B, and and that track.
Yeah.
So I understand why they did it.
Yeah, I understand too. The thing I read said too that basically they shot it, and it was so far into editing, like it was about to be released, and so they let George Takei know what was going to happen, and he's like, I know, and at that point it's too late because they already shot it. And it's about to go out. So
and there was, there's really nothing. They embrace as a family, and so I guess your headcanon can be whatever it is. I mean, I certainly don't care what the sexual orientation of any of these characters are. I would like the storyline to, it
is such a blink and you miss it kind of thing too.
Right. I'd like consistency. Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't care what if they made Kirk gay all of a sudden. I'd have an issue with that. Not because I have an issue with Kirk being gay. I have an issue with the past 50, 60 years of him, macking on some green alien shit.
That's right. Yeah. Like the cat
whatever.
ladies.
I just want story consistency. I don't care about the rest. None of it matters to me.
Right.
Just except for story consistency.
Yeah.
So, Enterprise being gone. That was a big one too. In the third movie, we lose the Enterprise NCC 1701, no bloody A, B, C, or D.
Right.
What do you guys think of the destruction sequence? It was very reminiscent of Generations.
Yeah. I mean, it got torn to shreds, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was a cool. Yeah.
When they said go for the throat,
why didn't they have shields? What was the situation?
Their plot armor disintegrated.
Yes, you're right.
Thanks.
Right.
Yeah, when Spock says we are not equipped for this manner of engagement. Oh, so why doesn't all the enemies of the Federation equip themselves for that manner of engagement?
Exactly.
If tiny little ships will do it, those tiny little ships should have had. They did. There was one throwaway line where they said the shield frequencies are having no effect. But they didn't explain why.
Here's the thing: I get annoyed when they establish certain things and then they ignore it. One of the first things that the attack did was destroy the deflector array. Right.
Right, and then they wanted to go to warp.
Okay, whether they want to go to warp, whether they want to go to impulse, it doesn't matter. The whole idea of the deflector array is that it moves space debris out of the way, so
Right.
the ship get torn to shreds as it moves.
Yeah.
Right.
So they were
When he
dead in
says,
the
"Get us
water.
out of here," I'm like, "They can't get you out of here. They just destroyed the deflector array."
Yep.
I think they mentioned very early on that there's like a signal and it's jamming their communication frequencies and messing with the shields.
Oh, they did talk about messing
Yeah.
with the shields too.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think that's what it is.
Only one man would give me the raspberry.
That's right. They got
So the
jammed.
ship-
They got
I mean,
jammed
is
for
it
sure.
just common knowledge? I mean, their shields are operating at a frequency of 257.4,
I mean,
which
You know,
257.4 was the shield frequency that the Enterprise D was operating at when they
Right.
were destroyed, when it was destroyed by the Klingon bird of prey.
well, Idris would know, right? Because he was part of Starfleet. It
Yep.
ends up, yeah. Which that means they had the same shield harmonics for like 100 years or whatever it was.
I don't know Pythagorean's theorem, but I do know that the Enterprise D's shield frequency was 257.4 gigahertz.
Amazing.
And if that
Amazing.
doesn't deserve a nerd alert, I don't know what does.
Yeah, it does. It does. Let me get that.
Warning, warning,
it's 1.21
nerd alert, nerd alert.
Gigawatts.
Yes.
Thank you. So, early on in the film, we find out. Well, we don't find out, but Spock gets the news that Spock Prime has passed away, and of course,
Right.
the reason that Spock Prime wasn't in this, Ambassador Spock wasn't in this, is because Leonard Nimoy passed away in 2015. This was when we found out. This was emotional, at least for me. I mean, it brought a realness to the show, to the movie. You know, Spock was gone, and he had that photo of the whole crew at the end.
Yeah, the TOS crew.
Yeah. So, and this is another reason why I think they brought the series, the franchise, the Kelvin universe to a close in this one. I don't think there was any more stories to be told. But the admiral that you talked about in the beginning, the name was Admiral Paris.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
Admiral
Tom's
Paris.
mom.
Yeah, Tom's mom. So they're thinking that it was obviously a nod to Voyager and
Right.
possibly an ancestor of Thomas Eugene Paris and
That's
Admiral
right.
Paris.
We lost Dan, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah,
Come back, Dan, whenever you get a
Right.
chance.
that's right.
One thing I want to talk about too is the USS Franklin.
Uh-huh.
It took me this 17th watch to truly understand what time period this ship comes from, and I finally have a grasp at what it was. And so it was NX 3 something, like 365 or whatever it was. So it was a ship that was well beyond the Enterprise from Star Trek Enterprise,
Right.
but it was a Warp 4 ship.
Yeah.
And the reason was it was just an older ship. It was
Yeah.
an older ship. But our
We got you, Dan.
Krill friend was from past the time period of Star Trek Enterprise, because they mentioned that he mentions that he was involved in the Romulan Wars.
Right.
Okay, so he mentioned the Xindi, he mentioned the Romulan Wars. He was a Mako, and they dissolved the Makos, and they basically gave him a Starfleet commission. They gave him this older Warp 4 capable ship and said, "Here you go," and he was pissed off about that. So
Right.
that's where that ship comes from. That ship is an older design ship, but his time period is after Archer's Enterprise era.
Right. Right.
So
I think you could have done something with that too, though, because he mentions about, he was a wartime guy, and how are you supposed to make peace when we're already past,
right.
when we've had so much fighting. I think you could have done something where you bring in a Romulan crew member at the beginning,
Yeah.
because you had the first movie where they were fighting the Romulans, right? So you
Right.
could have brought that in. You could have been like, nobody trusts her. Then they get attacked. Everyone looks at her,
Yep.
or him, whatever, whatever you pick, right?
Yep.
And so now that everyone's just against that crew member, right? They're the red herring. They're the one we all think has betrayed us, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, that character is really the one who's trying to help. Maybe they're the one who saved the MacGuffin, something along those lines. Kirk realizes, no, we can make friends, and so that's your arc. But
Right.
what do I know?
No, you're absolutely right. Can we talk about the MacGuffin device for a second? I never understood what was there, if there was a connection between those little dog species and the krill-like species. Like, was it just a coincidence that
It was just a coincidence.
it was just a coincidence? Okay. Is there a connection between the species that Kirk was trying to be a mediator for and this dog-like species?
Maybe, but we don't know.
What were those species? Do we know?
We don't know.
They're not connected. It's not the same
don't know.
species as. Okay, I was just confused. Like,
Yeah.
here's just a coincidence. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
I guess. I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of people online and IMDb noticed that the internal schematics for the Yorktown look suspiciously like the Death Star. So a lot of people were drawing parallels on that. But yeah,
And that's from a different Star, right?
yeah, that's from a different Star Trek.
Yeah, that's from the one with the whales.
Right, exactly.
They need the whales to destroy the Death Star.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They throw the whales through the little port, and that's what blows it up. It's too big.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they're being chased by the Cylons in that one.
That's right. They're being chased by the Cylons.
Yeah.
Because ET
So,
just wants to go
let me ask
home.
you guys, we got 3 of these movies,
Yeah.
and we got 2 seasons of Strange New Worlds,
Uh-huh.
which takes place in kinda-ish the same time frame in different timelines. So
Right.
there are some duplication of characters.
And special effects.
Specifically one I'm going to ask you about.
Yeah.
So this is a tough one. I want to know where you stand. Zachary Quinto or Ethan Peck?
Ooh. I feel like having now recently seen all 3 of the films, and then, Strange New World is still pretty fresh in my mind. I think I enjoy Ethan's portrayal a little bit better.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think Ethan's portrayal is more like Leonard Nimoy. His Spock is more like Leonard Nimoy's Spock.
Yeah.
This is what's rolling around in my head. I think Zachary Quinto. This is a kind of counterintuitive. Zachary Quinto brings more emotion.
Yes.
To Spock, which again he's portrayed Spock, an emotionless character supposedly. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. He lets his emotions show through a little bit. In this movie, he actually smiles in relief, like he's like, or whatever.
Right.
It's a legitimate smile, which Vulcans have emotions. They just use their mental disciplines to suppress them. So when you're in physical agony for hours on end, I can understand that some of those walls might come down. But
indeed,
I do like that. I do like both of their performances. I think that Ethan Peck's is a little bit closer to the original Spock. So
I think he's a better actor.
For me, it's
It comes down to that.
Yeah, the other thing we didn't mention is. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead with this.
No, I'm stalling because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, I just think we got that episode last season where Spock becomes human for an episode, and we get to see Ethan Peck as Spock with a full range of emotions.
Yes.
And I bought it. I bought every minute of it.
Yeah.
I bought every second of it.
Okay.
I've seen Zach Quinto and other things, and I don't know.
The other thing too is we have 6 hours of Zachary Quinto Spock. We've got 26 hours of Ethan Peck Spock.
Right.
So Ethan Peck has more time to delve more into the character and to put him in different situations and bring that out of him. Right.
Yeah, we've got regular Spock, we've got bearded Spock, we've got a lot of Spock to draw.
Whereas with Zachary Quinto, he's got moments to shine, but it's like if you added up all his time in each of the films, I'd be surprised if he got more than 40 minutes between all three of the movies.
I also like his I like his version, Zachary
we lost Dan.
version, because of I like his attitude.
Yeah.
He's got attitude in this movie. In
Right.
all three of these movies. You know, I am expressing multiple attitudes at once, to which you're referring. And the only gratitude, the only emotion I'd like to portray, convey is gratitude.
That's right.
You know, thank you. Live long and prosper.
He's snarky.
He's snarky. Yeah, he's very snarky. You know, get this man off my ship. I like his attitude because it's different. It might not be, Spock, but it brings something a little bit different to the character. And nobody wants a carbon copy.
Right.
But and Leonard Nimoy liked Zachary Quinto.
What was that, Dan?
Can you do something for me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can you put yourself in the middle? My OCD is going nuts right now. You got the
like that
black. Thank you.
You don't want me next to you, is that it? I thought we were friends.
No, the two yellows together with the black just chilling on the side. It was driving me nuts.
Nice.
You're welcome.
I didn't realize you're wearing a Starfleet Delta. Also.
Yeah.
He's got his uniform on.
Yep. In honor of the movie.
That's right.
So wrapping up the review. How do you guys think this left the Kelvin universe? Do you think? Obviously, we've talked about Star Trek 4 till we were blue in the face. I don't think it's needed. What are your guys' thoughts?
Like that we need a fourth film?
Right.
If they're gonna do one, I think it has to tie up the Kelvin timeline, fold it back in.
Okay. I think they did a good job wrapping this one up. I think a trilogy is just fine.
We did a show a few years ago, I think, where we each pitched our Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't we do that? Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm still mad they didn't make.
Right.
Whatever.
I don't think you need a fourth one. I think it wraps up good enough the way it is.
I agree. Especially with, they said goodbye to characters. They said goodbye to Spock. They did a tribute to Anton Yelchin. J.J. Abrams said early on after his death that he was not going to recast him.
Right.
So I think the story's been told, because this isn't a main timeline universe story.
Right.
It's an offshoot story. It's like doing the Mirror Universe. They did the Mirror Universe. The stories are done. Let's put it to rest. I think what you
could do, very similar to like what you did for the Lower Decks crossover, you could bring one of these actors over as a crossover character, like somehow, they find a ripple in space or whatever it is, and you bring on Zachary Quinto Spock or, Chris Pine, whatever, right? You could do that.
A la Crisis on Infinite Earths. I just watched where Superman meets Superman. Like, you are Clark Kent, and it's Tyler Hoechlin and
Brandon Routh.
No, it's Tyler. They go to visit the Smallville universe.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and they're like, you are Clark Kent, right?
Tom Welling.
Yeah, Tom Welling.
somewhat,
So you could have something like that. It's like, this is Spock.
Yeah.
Wait, this is Spock. Like,
Yeah.
oh, hello, Spock. I am Spock. I am Spock. Peace and long life. Live long and prosper.
Yeah.
There can be a cute moment there. It shouldn't be longer than an episode.
You could even do Zachary Quinto be like, this is not the first time I've met myself.
Right. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
This has happened before.
You have Ethan Peck Spock comment about, you don't seem to be bothered by this prediction.
Yeah.
Right.
Response is, this is not the first time I've met my.
Yeah.
And at the end of the episode, he could say, as my usual greeting would seem oddly self-serving,
Yes.
I will simply say, good luck.
Yeah.
And that's how the episode would end.
Yeah. You
People
could
would
do
love
something
it.
like that,
People would love it. So, yeah, I think you could say goodbye in an episode of Strange New Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And they have been known to, swing for the fences. So, whether you...
Now, would that be a musical episode or just a regular one?
No, they would do it. They would make it animated just for the heck of it.
Yeah. Claymation.
Claymation, stop motion.
Yeah.
There you go.
But all the lines are haiku.
That's right. Every
Correct.
line is like
Correct. Or limericks.
Right.
They go back and forth.
And then it ends with them singing Three Little Birds by Bob Dylan or Bob Marley
Yeah.
for no reason. Yeah.
Hey, Dan,
Okay.
where are you broadcasting from?
Me?
Yeah.
Idaho. My house.
Sure.
Why?
I don't know. I saw somewhere that Idaho doesn't exist.
That's right.
That's right. Idaho doesn't exist.
That's my new favorite conspiracy theory.
That's funny because a friend of mine, Steven, and Steven had this theory that Wyoming didn't exist for many of the same reasons. Like, you've never known anybody who went to Wyoming. You've never been to Wyoming yourself. And yeah, Idaho probably doesn't exist because nobody knows anybody who's ever been to Wyoming. Nobody listening to the show lives in Wyoming, has ever been to, or lives in Idaho, has ever been to Idaho. So, and Daniel's lying about being in Idaho.
Right.
Potatoes come from Russia, people.
That's right.
Come on.
That's right.
Get with the program.
All right. Well, should we get to listener feedback?
Have we beaten beyond?
Sure.
Beyond.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get the listener feedback.
Listener feedback.
All right. So for our listener feedback, I did post in a lot of the social media, hey, if we do another Kelvin film, what Beastie Boys song do you want in it? And there was a lot of answers. We got Intergalactic was the most popular one, far and away. Beastie Boys was or Brass Monkey was pretty high up there, but a few people put Girls, Girls, Girls. That Beastie Boys song. So I thought that was funny.
How about the sweater song?
I wanted Benny and the Jets.
Benny and the Jets.
Yeah, that's on their anthology.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw the album, the Beastie Boys album on vinyl at Walmart yesterday.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Somebody
their vinyl section really brings back some memories. It's all stuff that you would have gotten on CD in the late 90s.
Somebody was telling me that that the vinyl that they make now is nowhere near as good as the stuff from the 60s and 70s because they make it with plastic as opposed to resin.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not nearly as high quality and it tends to wear out after a while.
So you can't in a dramatic fashion shatter it on the countertop?
Not really, no.
Okay.
No. But
yeah, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
I don't listen to vinyl, so it's fine.
We bought my oldest son a record player a few years back, and he's got quite a few albums. I mean,
nice.
and it's quite varied too.
Yeah,
like Disney soundtracks all the way to Eminem, and everything in between. So
okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh well, we got Chazbiz on the line, so let me bring him in too. There he is.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up, Chaz Biz?
Not much.
Did you watch the movie?
Chazbiz,
Yes,
go put on a black shirt, man. You're throwing it off.
I know. I'm wearing blue. Here,
My shirt's blue.
I'll just squat down.
Yeah, there we go. Chazbiz, the guy that says Trekcast Mobile One. That's Dan. Dan, this is Chazbiz.
Yes.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Hey,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Thanks for having me.
Are you selling me auto insurance or something?
What?
Go door to door.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's
mobile
right.
one.
Yeah.
So, did you rewatch Beyond?
I was like Dan, and I got as far as he did.
Okay.
I didn't even get up to Idris Elba. I was
About
like, yeah, I
40%
remember
of the
this
Should have
movie.
coordinated. You should have watched the second half, and then
Yeah, I should have just started in the middle and just ended it.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, beat for beat, I know what happens in this movie, and I remember it.
Right.
There's nothing special about this movie.
You know,
Wow.
rewatching it,
I really like this movie.
rewatching it, especially with Idris Elba in it.
Yeah,
It made me think it would have been better if Knuckles was the character, because Knuckles
Yes.
is technically an alien. So,
well, they had this, like, you hired Idris Elba, this great actor, but you put him under this, like, heavy makeup.
yeah, that's one of the big critiques.
Yeah. And so nobody even knew it was Idris Elba, so you could have got anybody to play that part, and not have to pay.
Yeah, and even when you minimize the makeup and he's done his vampire energy thing where he's not as
I didn't get
and
any
then
of that.
somehow the MacGuffin
like-
device is like the end all be all. So
yeah. I didn't get that either. Like, how did, because he was human, they show him as a human,
Mhm.
and then somehow he morphed into
something with the planet
krill?
like changed him, and because it's other aliens that are on that planet that got changed into this.
They should have tied it in with that planet from Insurrection. Like said somehow the radiation rings of this planet, these are the original inhabitants, and blah blah blah. Tied it in. And you know what I really wish? We were talking about those little dog looking things.
Mhm.
They had a real brief scene where you see the back of one of them in a Starfleet uniform, not wearing pants. I wish there had been an interaction earlier in the movie where Kirk is like, dude, what's up with your people? They're like really super stupid and weird and strange and won't, they're misbehaving. And they speak English, so it would have been cool to see an interaction between Kirk and Starfleet dog.
Mm.
I like Dan's eyes. It was like, that's kind of racist.
You know
What's up with your people? They're just dumb.
what's up with your people?
You could have done something.
What if
too
you wear
with-
pants?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Put some pants on.
See this ripped uniform? See it?
yeah.
Your people.
Well,
If the
they could
planet
have
really
like
cha-
Jellicoe
yeah.
Jr. or Jellicoe's like ancestor there saying that to him. So
Right. Well, if the planet really changed you that much, you could have done something where, like, hey, if we stay on this planet for more than 72 hours or whatever it is, it's going to start changing the crew, and they're going to be more antagonistic and less likely to fall in line or whatever.
yeah, exactly. Like something should have happened. Like that, the crew should have started changing.
Yeah.
Because it made no sense that all the aliens changed, but Jayla didn't, right?
Right.
And
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So-
I thought it was really weird. And then how did they get these little ships? How could they control those?
Where did
like,
they come from?
Yeah,
That's
the
another
storm.
thing that I was able to catch this 19th viewing. They were mining vessels.
Right.
They're
Right.
old mining vessels.
Man, they love miners on
And
what I was saying,
certain
yeah.
movies. They love miners.
apparently, don't let the Romulans know that
Yeah.
Starfleet shield frequencies are vulnerable to, single person mining craft.
Yeah, you just need civilian tech. You'll get them. You'll knock them
It's
out.
like, well,
And-
what the hell? It was like, can
And
you
their
just come
ships are
up
also made of unobtainium because they just,
Right.
ripped through the Enterprise hull like it was, wet tissue paper, and there was no signs of damage to these ships, and
Yeah.
they crash landed on the planet, and they're fine. And
How many times has the Enterprise been destroyed in movies now?
in movies, I can think of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
one
that-
thing though, that this film did win an Academy Award for best
Special
makeup.
Well, yeah, the makeup
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
Was that,
You had that one lady with her head opens up and
yeah, and you put the MacGuffin device and it fits
Yeah.
perfectly in there. It's not like sticking out or anything.
right.
You know,
Right.
what happens if it's an alien with a cowlick with that head? So, or it just kinda doesn't go down right.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to wet it and put water on it or anything. So,
yeah.
What if she wasn't there? I mean, where were they hiding?
yeah.
Right. Oh, she was sick today. Oh no.
Scotty, I need you to put this in the old prison purse.
Yeah.
It's a Bendo prison purse. That's the first time I ever heard that one.
Oh no.
Yeah, you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a past.
Oh no.
You mentioned Jayla. What do you guys think of Jayla? Jayla was played by Sofia Boutella.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I liked
she was
her.
Great.
Yeah.
I liked her a lot. I liked her attitude.
Well, see, if they made a new one, they since Chekhov's dead, they should
Mhm.
add her because you don't have enough female cast on the old crew.
Speaking of female cast, Alicia Eve was conspicuously not in this movie. She was not even mentioned, even though in the last movie they firmly established she was now part of the crew.
That's right.
Now, I don't know why.
Alice Eve or whatever.
Yeah, Alice Eve. Yeah, I don't know why the actor was not in the movie, and they don't even explain it away in
don't
this
mention
movie.
Really?
There's
Did you really not know?
no, I don't.
She's off raising little David by herself.
That's right.
Well, yeah, and they talked about the one possible explanation that they didn't get into in the movie, and that early on in the script they were going to mention something, but that she was off doing research on the Genesis device.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay, say something in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, like Dr. Marcus is off doing this a new secret project. One
Daniel-
line from Dr. McCoy or Kirk.
That should have been your ancient weapon is the Genesis device. Make it like a really old tech.
Oh, yeah. And again, the MacGuffin device. What did this device do to complete the weapon? Was it a key? Was it, the final
you put it
bit of
in,
code?
and then you could turn it like the Predator.
Right. You can't replicate this?
No, apparently not.
You can't rebuild it? Come on. Yeah.
You just can't crack it open and let out the angry storm.
Don't
The
forget
guy
a
cut the keys is on its break. So no.
That's right.
Yeah.
Come
There's
back.
better plot points in Tomb Raider video games. I mean,
Yeah,
don't forget a Kelpie and cried and destroyed all the dilithium.
that's
So,
right.
that's true. That's
don't
true.
forget about that.
Yes, that's right.
So, that
All
device
right.
right there,
Yeah,
you might as well just wipe out all the Kelpians.
that's
Yeah,
true.
this
They
was
can
by
cry.
far a perfect movie. I really enjoyed it, and I really liked the soundtrack. They brought a little something new in the soundtrack at the beginning, and I thought it sounded as they first pan onto not the Franklin but the Yorktown, the music in it sounded like epic Christmas movie music for some reason.
Right.
If you go back and listen to it again, it just sounds like
I
this
got
would
that
make,
vibe too.
I don't think.
yeah, this would make like this is like Elf 2 music. I really liked it, but it gave me Christmas movie vibes.
Yeah. I got that vibe from it too.
Okay,
But
I got a question about the Yorktown, right? So
Yes.
you see the Enterprise pulling in there, and it's going through dry dock, right?
yeah,
So it's going into port. The thing is, what about the big black Enterprise from Into Darkness? That thing wouldn't even fit in that port. They'd have
would
to park
not,
it
no.
outside.
the evil Enterprise. No.
Yeah, Evil Enterprise had to park outside, and then
Yeah, you'd have to park outside and
take
just like
tender boats over to
transport in
into
or
Evil Enterprise in a picture.
Why would the big
like a
black
goat-
one fit?
goatee.
the
you didn't see the goatee on it. Yeah,
big black one's
Yeah.
too big.
RoboCop was flying around with his evil.
Oh,
Enterprise
God.
goatee. Yeah, good times. It's just not caught in that movie, but yeah, it's there. They should have put flames on it, let you know it's evil. Yeah. So all right.
I guess because I took a cruise and I see how big these ships are, and I'm like, okay, if you make them too big, you can't pull out a port, because most of
Right.
them if they're too big, they can't.
So if they're too big, you can't pull out?
Yeah, they can't pull out.
Oh no!
No, well, they won't fit in the dock.
Scott, your mother watches this show.
Yeah. Scott's being.
Well, he's the one that
I'm trying to be
black
technical
ship
here.
that was too big to get to the port.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. She doesn't know.
Hey, well, that's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Wow.
All right, well, on that
All
note,
Yeah, on that note, let's wrap it up.
That's Scott. That's all Scott.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. That's what
Yeah.
she said.
Oh, God.
That's what she said.
All right.
Oh, God. That's what she said.
That's what she said. Okay,
Yeah.
there's a Chili's commercial. They opened a Chili's in Scranton, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and they made a commercial for it. And everyone in the commercial is like small characters from The Office. From the
okay.
Nice.
series. So go look it up. It's pretty funny. It's pretty
Okay.
funny to watch.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You got like Kevin and
Nothing
Creed.
to do with Star Trek.
Yeah.
Chili's baby back ribs. Okay.
Well,
got,
Yeah. I'm throwing up the phone number. So if you guys
okay.
want to leave it. Oh, we did get a voicemail. Hold on.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I totally forgot about this. Let me add that because I forgot to put it in here. Let's play that voicemail. Here we go. Okay.
Loved one watched Star Trek Section 31. You may be entitled to compensation. People have been reporting that they have fewer brain cells after watching this movie. If you now believe that the series finale of Enterprise, Code of Honor from TNG, and Threshold from Voyager are shining examples of the best episodes of Star Trek and haven't before, you may have been affected. Please contact our law offices of Mac and me right away so we can represent you.
Mac and me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a deep cut.
Yes.
I mean, that was like they had a dance off in McDonald's in that movie. So
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Welcome to
great.
Sexual Innuendo Cast. Yeah.
Hey, you know.
Yeah. So that voicemail was basically saying if you've seen some bad Star Trek films like that, Section 31, they will represent you. So
Dan, are you going to
Throw
call
that number back
for
up on the
this
screen,
movie?
Daniel.
yeah, I will do that.
If
Yeah, you can
you
leave
want to leave us a voicemail, you can call us at 570-661-0001, and we will play it on the show just like we played that one. And
Yep.
don't forget, you can also, we've got an amazing Facebook group.
Yeah.
A lot of people that contribute to that. That's where we get a lot of our material from. So
Mhm.
go check out our Facebook group. We're also on X, and we're on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we're on. I keep every time I'm scrolling through TikTok, I keep
The TikTok, yeah.
seeing my ugly mug show up every once in a while. So
The Instagram, we're almost at 15,000. So
That's
oh wow,
yeah,
that's great. Yeah,
go subscribe, get us over the hump.
let's get those numbers up. So
Right.
thanks everybody for listening and your feedback and all that stuff. Keep it
Yeah.
coming. We love it.
Awesome. Well, we'll catch you next week. We're gonna start more movies, right? We're doing.
Yeah, we were thinking since we did. There's kind of a lull in in the TV stuff, and so I think we're just going to keep plowing through, and we're going to start with Star Trek 1, go all the way through to
the
Star Trek
original
6,
one, so
and then
motion picture.
and then we'll probably do.
What was that?
Plowing.
Yes, we're going to be plowing right through it, and then
That's
after
right.
that, if there's time, we'll just start with the next gen movies.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you next week. See ya. Bye.
Have a good one.
This is Captain Benjamin Sisko of Deep Space Nine and Space God to the Bajorans. I have a mission for you. This falls outside of Starfleet guidelines, so I can't order you, but I'm asking for volunteers. Volunteers who will subscribe to the Trekcast YouTube channel, leave 5-star reviews on your podcast app of choice, and share Trekcast across your social media accounts. If we can make our audience bigger, we might have a chance against the Dominion. Are you ready? Subscribe, like, and share. Are you with me?